Hey everybody. Sorry, I gotta fix my clothes because it's looking like I don't have no clothes on. I had to pull up my jumpsuit here. Listen, this is late for me, okay? This is a late Friday night, but this darn Diddy thing, it got us talking. It has us talking. Yeah, we have to get into it. So this the night train. This the late night Sunday train. Okay. I had my book club meeting today. I had a fabulous time. I hope y'all had an amazing Sunday. I'm like, what day is it? Hope y'all had an amazing Sunday. I had a really, really, really good day. And I saw early this morning when I was in the gym, I saw the Diddy apology. I saw the Diddy apology and I was like, oh, sorry guys. I actually didn't think he was going to speak out. So I was shocked. I was shocked. I was like beyond shocked that he actually spoke out. And let me do some disclaimers here. Over here, we try our best, and I ain't saying we the best, right? I'm not arrogant like that. But I'm just saying we do what we do the way we do it over here on the grade train, okay? All right, so we do it the way we do it over here, and it may not be what the way people are used to having these particular conversations, but everybody has their opinion and you're entitled to your opinion as long as you're not bashing a panelist or bashing people in the comments, right? And I have to say this, we go beyond of don't do this, oh, y'all just hate Cassie or y'all just hate this one, because I don't know these people. I'm analyzing the situation for what it is, and we're having a discussion about it. So I say all that to say that the people blacked out on Kelly Price today to the point where she had to come out and say something. I'm going to play that for y'all. But his apology, and I'm going to back up and say this. When people are in these peculiar situations, I do believe silence is golden. And the reason why I believe silence is golden, because no matter what comes out of your mouth, people are going to take it the way they want to take it. They just are. People are going to take it the way they want to take it. If they like you, they're going to lean their conversation towards the saying that your apology was okay, XYZ. If they don't like you, they're going to lean their conversation that way, right? So that's why in these particular situations, silence is golden. I am shocked. I am shocked that he spoke out, but he spoke out and there was a lot of fallout, and we're going to have to talk about it and we're going to deal with it, right? And we'll deal with the different people who wants to come out and say, whatever they want to say or feel about the apology. Now, he had 20 million followers. His following count did drop down to 19.9 million, meaning he lost 100K subscribers just like that. What's interesting to me, though, I guess most of the world is visual. Okay, I guess most of us are visual, because clearly Cassie said in her lawsuit, and CNN pointed it out, Cassie said all of this stuff in her lawsuit, and everyone claimed they was 10 toes down for Cassie. But the outrage comes, once we see the visual. It's interesting to me. But we saw this kicking and this, that, and the other. But I don't know if y'all recall, Cassie also said in her lawsuit she was forced to sleep with multiple men. She also said in her lawsuit that he came to her home and armed her. So I'm just wondering, do people need to see the visual to be outraged and say, lock him up? Okay. Let me see. Do you guys regret blaming her and saying it was a choice? Honest question. I don't know where you got at that we was blaming her. And so many other people claimed that too that night. When did we blame Cassie? When did we say that Cassie deserved to get beat? I don't know. Somebody, come on, help me out. Somebody in the chat. When did y'all hear me out of my mouth or any of the panelists say that Cassie deserved to be beat? No, what you heard her say, which was from her own lawsuit. See, what happens over here is, if you're a follower of mine, I never really ever do a video without an article. I have the article, I read the article, and then I give my comments on the article. And the reason why I do that is exactly your honest question. And I ain't mad at you, but I'm asking you, when did I say that? Cut and clip the video, or tell me the timestamp on the video where we said that. What we said was, because Cassie said it in her own words, in her own lawsuit, Cassie said that her girlfriend came to help her, was trying to help her, and Diddy beat her, and she joined in, and they both had to pay her. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it was implied that she was complicit. Okay. Well, here's the thing, and I love you back. So listen, listen. Let's leave Cassie out of this for 1.2 seconds. Okay, let's leave Cassie out of this for 1.2 seconds. And I'm gonna say this about DV, right? Okay, yeah, we did say, why did she keep going back? We did. Let me tell you this. Let me say this about DV. I maybe put it at 50 years ago, when it came to DV, a lot of women, people get mad when I say females, like it's just so crazy, right? A lot of women, a lot of housewives, they did not work. They did not work. They had no job, right? And the no, listen, I'm okay. Yeah, but see, you know what, prognosis? Here's the thing. A lot of people feel like, because everybody has their opinion on things, right? Because maybe our opinion doesn't align with y'all, why is it considered insensitive? If you don't tell people the truth, they stay in their mess. I'm consistent in telling people that getting a studio apartment, and if you live in said studio apartment with nothing in it, but you got the key and you got some heat and some running hot water, you're good. The reason why I'm consistent in saying that is to let people know out there, stop putting all of your livelihood and everything into things. When I'm connected to things, I become a slave to said situation. If maybe I'm riding a bicycle to work, I can work at Target, because I don't have to worry about car insurance or car note and gas. But let me get back onto this DV thing. With DV 50 years ago, right? The woman didn't work outside the home. All of the money came from the husband. Okay. All of the money came from the husband. And it was even harder for that person to leave said situation, because literally they didn't have a way out or a dime to get out. Okay. So what I'm saying is, in this day and age, where a lot of women, they work outside the home, they have their own money, I am making a decision that I'm going to stay in said situation. I'm not going to get out. I'm not going to leave. If you look up DV, it will tell you a lot of those ladies way back in the beginning, they felt like they had nowhere to go and couldn't get out because they didn't have the money. Cassie said out of her own mouth, it was an on, off again relationship. She said every time she tried to leave, they would call her back. But I'm going to tell you, in this particular hotel situation, she left out of her own words, out of her lawsuit. She left. She got down to the bottom. She went back to her apartment, and then she came back to the hotel. This ain't diva talking. This is what Cassie said out of her own mouth. So I'm saying to all the ladies out there, if you find yourself in said situation, run and don't ever look back. Honey, you love Doritos, you out of Doritos. I'm going to go to Target, get you some Doritos, and don't ever go back. You don't need a shoe, a sock, nothing that was there. He should have apologized to Cassie, and he didn't. Did anyone ever think that once they settled that lawsuit, that maybe there was an NDA that said that neither one of them could say anything about each other ever again or mention each other's names? Did anyone ever think that? I know the bandwagon is he should apologize to Cassie. And the other bandwagon is some people are saying he should apologize to this one and that one. Well, the man is not admitting to any wrongdoing. So why would he apologize to the girl that he allegedly pow in between her eyes when he's 10 toes down that he didn't do it? He's not going to do that. We're going to bring the people in the building because we got stuff to talk about today. And I know, thank you, Q, he was apologizing to us, the viewers of the video, not to Cassie or anyone who may be triggered by it either. He feels shame, not guilt. And maybe that's it. Thank you, Q, for your super chat. I appreciate you. Also, he has to be careful with his words. He still has a ton of lawsuits out there. That's why I said silence is golden. That's why I said I was shocked that he even turned on his camera and said anything. Shocked. Every word you use and say can be held against you. He got suits still pending. And people are saying, I'm looking, that's why I had to go live. People are saying he should apologize to this one, that one. Dude, people, he has suits still going, lawsuits. He got one with Little Rodney, Jane Doe, Joy Dickinson, and who knows what else is coming down the pipe. So no, he's not going to sit there and do an apology saying with a list. I apologize to Cassie. I apologize to my mother, that's the baby mother that's no longer here, Kim Porter. He never admitted to doing anything to us. So he going to sit there and apologize? Listen, this is the man that was 10 toes down, that everybody was a liar, and this was a shakedown. Come on, he wants revenge. And didn't he say that? They was keeping tally of all the people that was not sticking by them. Listen, I don't talk too much. Yeah. And come on, Didon. Let's show love to all the victims, not just the one you see in the video. There's a whole ton of them out there. There's this one that nobody wants to touch with a 10-foot pole. The young lady that probably was one of the earliest victims that got pow in between her eyes. And she said fragments of the bullets are still in her face. Let's say all their names. So no, we are not disrespecting Cassie. No, we are not insensitive to DV. I have sisters, nieces, aunties, my own mother. Why would I not be sensitive to such a subject? That just don't make any sense to me. Of course I'm sensitive. But see, the thing I like to do over here is we got to get into teaching mode. How do we help our young ladies coming up not to find themselves in these situations, not to find themselves a victim of a person like a R. Kelly, a Epstein, a Weinstein? And what is this guy named? He's another one. Was 10 toes down. He didn't do anything. Dan Schneider, I think it is, right? What's that documentary? Quiet on the Set. We need to have a time period where we educate, so we're not coming up here just crying and feeling sorry for the things that happen, but we're telling people how to prevent yourself from being in said situation. There were some other young ladies. The executive producer, his name is slipping my mind right now. She said she was his assistant. She said he violated her, and she continued to work for him. We got to talk about this stuff. You was physically violated, and you stayed. Come on, Natalia Ruman. Come on now. Let's say their names. Say their names. Cassie was not the only one. Not disrespecting Cassie, not minimizing what she went through. Kim Porter, it's the Gina who said the baby was stomped out of her stomach. And now we saw from a whole video that he liked the stomping. Cassie was lucky that day that he didn't have anything on his feet. The man is sick. Let's be clear. I'm not sticking up for Diddy. But I do want to educate the young ladies out there. You don't need anybody that bad. Love yourself first. And don't be connected to a Gucci, a Louis, a private jet, a Benz, a Rolls Royce. None of that. I'm going to bring the people in the building. What do I need in that chat, everybody? I need a what? Thank you, Tay-Tay. I need a choo-choo. Hold aboard, everybody. It is Sunday night. We're doing trending topics and Diddy's apology backfires, okay? We're going to bring the people on in the building and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to give you a warning up front because I do not curb my words based upon what is going on in the chat. I didn't do this channel so that I could just say what everybody wants to hear. You do not have to agree with me. Let's be very clear. You don't have to agree with me. You have your opinion. I have mine. Let's have a grown-up adult chat. Okay? Let me bring the people on in the building. Hold on one second. Hey, Savannah. Hey, Bunny Bunny. Hey, E.
Hey.
Hey, Felicia. Hey, Dadon. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Julius. Hey, Tay-Tay.
Hello.
Hello, everybody. Listen, I'm going to first start out and I'm going to play his apology, which I know by now many of you have already seen. I got so many tabs open here. It is bananas. But let me see if I can find it. Okay. So he had 20 million followers. He's now down to 19.9. So he lost 100K just like that. Okay. So the people are stepping back for real from him now after that video. Let's hear his apology. And many thinking he's in BALI because if you take notice of the background, and it's a similar background to which what's his name that's out there in BALI now always has. Hold on, let's see.
It's so difficult to reflect on the darkest times in your life. Sometimes you got to do that. I was fucked up. I mean, I hit rock bottom, but I make no excuses. My behavior on that video is inexcusable. I take full responsibility for my actions in that video. I'm disgusted. I was disgusted then when I did it. I'm disgusted now. I went and I sought out professional help. I had to go into therapy. going to rehab. Had to ask God for his mercy and grace. I'm so sorry. But I'm committed to be a better man each and every day. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm truly sorry.
So Kelly Price, they came at her neck because this is her message. It's my sincere prayer that the power of the Holy Ghost overtake you, so that you not only have a change of heart, but a change of mind and a change of direction. I have seen you at your best and at your worst. I know what you are capable of being when you were at your best, despite the seductions of this industry. I want to see you, and I want to see you, and I want to see you soon to create, I guess, this in the business. But I need you to pray, and I need you to receive from the Most High. I need for those prayers to take place sincerely. You are a unique talent, and both sides that represent light and darkness receive you anxiously. Do you know who God is? Lean not lean not your lean not into your own understanding, but all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. KP. Honestly, when I heard all the uproar, because I was in the streets today, like I was out, living life, right? I went to the gym, then I had my book club and some other things. When I saw the people coming at her neck, and I had to read this thing several times, and I'm like, okay, what is the big deal here? What did she say where people are ready to slice her throat and condemn her so badly? I think that what I will say that I appreciate about her is there's a lot of other people who were there, who were playing in his face and were with him, and now they want to act as if, like, you know what, they're so much better than him. I don't think she said anything too crazy. That is me. But I'm going to present her response to the people losing their mind, and then I will speak to the panelists. So hold on one second here.
Happy Sunday, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. I'm going to give it a couple of seconds or a minute before. Hey, hi, everybody. Before I say too much, because I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to keep this live up, but I decided to do one. Hello, 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 hello. Happy blessed Sunday to everybody. I hope you're doing well. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, hi. Thank you. Hey, Toyera. Hello, hello, hello. I'm good. Thank you for asking how I am. I am good. I think everything should be up. Someone said they just, yes, all dates will be posted. Hello.
Sandy, 2 cents. Thank you for your super chat. Kelly,
Hello,
looking
hello.
for
Happy
your super
Sunday. Happy
chat and
Sunday.
phone back.
Thank you. Um, yeah, I'm not going to sit in here and argue with trolls. I'm finally to the point where I realize after 31 plus years in this business, there's always going to be somebody that has something negative to say. So I leave them in their negative space and I stay in the space that God has blessed me to be in, because whether you love me or hate me, you can't do anything about it. I came here to say this. I do realize that when you put something out, you leave it up to the person who hears it or sees it. It's really up to how they choose to comprehend it. Some of you got it, some of you did not. I could give you the whole religious thing, which, if you are a real Kelly Price follower, you know I'm not church. I love God, because I stick with, where there are humans, there is the opportunity for there to be lots of error, because we are all made of flesh, all born in sin, all shaped in iniquity, and we all have the capacity, if we allow ourselves, to go to a dark enough place to do some very horrible things. For those of you who got it, you don't need an explanation. Um, I have not spoken about any of this stuff since it's come out. I don't stand with anything that is criminal. None of us can unsee what we saw. For those of you who got what I was trying to say, and I was compelled to say it, I don't need the clout. So for those of you who are saying that, you know, you're the one who's inside my life, so I guess you need it. It was really more of a warning. Like, when it's all said and done, we're body, soul, and spirit, right? So if someone has a problem with alcoholism or drugs or whatever it is, if you put them in a 90-day program and they feel better at day 45 and they check themselves out, the work has not been finished. The work has not been complete. I simply said to him, because I believed that he would hear it, that make sure, I was pretty much telling him, do the soul work. So it wasn't, oh my God, I'm praying for you. Why are they trying to drag the black man down? You've not seen me out here on that. So for those of you who tried to make it that, you need something to harp on, and I get it. Do what you got to do to make your life feel important. I don't need to do those things. I actually do real things that leave a mark in this world, which is the reason why you actually know my name while you're trying to drag me. Okay? I really was telling him, do the soul work. Do the soul work. Because there's nothing that therapy, a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whatever the case may be, they can give you steps to try and not repeat the behavior. But if you don't get your soul right, there will not be real change. The proper definition of repentance is a change of heart, a change of mind, and a change of direction. I was basically telling him, you got to change your heart, you got to change your mind, and you got to change your direction. If you know God, you say you know God, you want to know God, or you want to do better. I simply was saying that he had to do the work. The rest of you went on a harp. You went off on this thing. You talking about, I pick a side. I pick the side of righteousness. I don't care who it is. There's no amount of money that's going to make me. There's no person in any position that's going to ever make me be okay with doing something to someone else so horrific. We live in a world where people thrive off of this stuff. Y'all have a good time jumping online, talking to people like they crazy that you know you ain't gonna ever see in real life. And if you did, you definitely won't have that energy. I keep telling y'all better be careful, because you never know who you're gonna see. And if you see them, you never know how, when you walk up on them, how they're gonna respond. We have keyboard thugs. This is the thing. We don't hold each other accountable enough. You saw what you wanted to see. And if that's how you understood it, I'm gonna let you see it that way. I told him, do what you need to do to get your soul right, brother. It's up to the courts to decide what they do with him legally. I have nothing to do with that. But in the end, he's still going to have to see God. He's still going to have to see God. And whether he lives a long life outside of jail or the rest of his life in jail, I'm talking to a person and telling him, get your soul right. I was not fist in the air. Go, Diddy, go. That's what y'all tried to make it be. You're bored this Sunday. By the way, I just had a most beautiful lunch with a colleague. It's been a good day for me because I refuse for trolls and people who have lesser understanding to decide how my day is going to go. You know what I am praying? That he got the message, that he saw it, and that he chooses to do those things. I could have came on here all Jesus-y, preachy, he without sin, let him throw the first stone. We all know that. What we all got to remember too is, we can't ask God for forgiveness if we can't forgive others, but I didn't bring that here either. You decided to misconstrue what I said, and that's on you. He needs to go to God. He know what he has to do. Because the reality of it is when you're in right standing with God, God won't allow you. When you're really in right standing with God, he will not allow you.
All right, we get the gist of what she's saying. For those who misconstrued, misinterpreted, or just chose to put words in my mouth, this is for clarity. If you choose to believe otherwise, that's your choice, but I won't let anyone call me out for something I didn't do. I can't offer redemption, forgiveness, or grace because my name is Kelly, not Jesus. Therapy plus Jesus, that's doing the soul work. What happens legally is up to the people who have that authority. I'm going to go ahead and go around now and speak to the people. Savannah, your thoughts on his apology, and the people, according to Kelly Price, misunderstood what she was trying to say to him.
I think with, and I'm going to start with Kelly Price first. I think with Kelly Price she's the wrong messenger. Kelly doesn't have a outstanding. She has more of a rather negative relationship with the community, especially with the gospel community, ever since she made those statements of, I believe it was a show, and she said her co-hosts were sleeping with each other's spouses and messing with children, and then Kelly went missing, and then when she came back out during C-19 and she came back out, she attacked the people that were actually looking for her and praying for her, and so something up with Kelly. I don't know. Kelly's been she's just the wrong messenger, and I'm not understanding why she felt the need to come out and speak right now. In regards to the apology, I saw no sincerity in him, and absolutely no accountability. He not once mentioned whether it was Cassie's name or any of the other victims, because if we go back, this story that has come out over the last, well, we've seen the video 48 hours. However, we had the lawsuit. We had these events in writing in November, and many of us have studied the lawsuit on various channels. It's been spoken, and it was words, but I guess seeing it visual has brought a division in the community and attention. And I think we all need some detachment or some type of therapy or prayer. So I don't know who the apology was for, but it definitely wasn't for the victims. I think it was more for trying to save some of his brand, or because his legacy and who he is forever been tarnished. But if we go back and look, and which I did some little research on Sean this weekend, His first allegations of SA came out in early 90s, in 91, where he was accused of drugging a young lady and and R-ing her. And she brought allegations against him, and it was dismissed. Then he had the stampede in Harlem, where several people were unalive during a celebrity basketball game, and Diddy was able to get away with that. There was a large shakeup in the Harlem, New York police department, where it was found that some of these officers were on his payroll. And then during that time, John had made Miami more of his home, because in Miami it was more of a party, where narcotics and other things were more freely accessible because of, the waters and things like there. So we're not going to go through his whole timeline of what he's done, but these unfortunate allegations are nothing new to our community. I'm saddened by the division and the conversations that are coming up now, and it's like we just all need a woosah. And because I do believe that this is just a distraction. To me, this is just a distraction because we had this information in November when the lawsuit dropped. I think there's something bigger coming, and I think it has to do with the human trafficking that's part of the Homeland Security investigation, and I'm gonna stick to that. That he is facing some horrible, serious charges against him, and he's not going to be able to get. He'll be detained soon, in my opinion. I think this is a distraction, and he will be paying for more. The worst of what's coming. I don't think we can. We're not prepared for it.
Thank you, Savannah. Bunny, you're up. Are you there? Okay. Bunny, last call.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, you're
I
fine.
don't know what's going. Okay, good. I'm like something just did went left with my phone. But I just want to say Kelly Price is full of it. Her
Mm.
initial message, it shows that the Black community, regardless of how devious a Black man can be, to pray for him. I hope he finds peace. I hope he gets himself together. You're still holding space for him to eventually be seen as a like, humanizing this demonic spirit, which I can't I can't see past what he's done, and that lawsuit, reading the lawsuit, and then seeing the video on top of that, and then knowing the speculations and the stories that have been out for the past 30 years about this man. It's like, you know, it's like he can't find peace. He needs to find healing. I'm like, she's holding too much space for someone who is, this is how he is. He's not, he can tell us he's happy, he's doing this, he's doing that. No,
Bunny,
he's
you have a
deviant
bad. You're breaking up really badly. They're liking what
boy.
you're saying. They're liking what you're saying, but you are breaking up badly. I don't know. Go ahead, speak now. Let me see what happens.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Okay, good. You can hear me clearly?
yes.
Okay, great. I don't know. Maybe my Wi-Fi is acting a little weird, but he's a sexual deviant, and I feel like the problem is that, like, in our community, is that the men, no matter how treacherous they are, they get to, be coddled. They get a safety net, no matter how heinous the crime is, and that they are harming women and children in the community. And it's got to stop. It's like it has to stop. Like praying for him, no. Um, oh, he needs to do this. God's going to do, like, God is tired. God is tired. Like, leave God out of this. This man is sick, and he doesn't need Kelly Price or anybody to come on and say, I hope he finds healing. I hope he finds God. He needs to get himself together. No, no, it's over. He needs to go. He needs to be buried under the jail. His apology was for us, and we don't care. He needs to lose more followers. Because what, 19 million still are following you? You should be down to 0.
Mm.
That's a problem. Why would anybody be following him at this point? For what? I'm about to look at my Instagram and see the people that I know that are still following him and unfollow them, because I can't stand for that at all. Because 19.9 million people are still following him. A lot of those are men and women, probably mostly in the Black community. Those people are complicit. That's that we got to get out of that as a community. We got to get out of it. And that's what I have to say. I don't want to say much more.
Thank you. I appreciate you. E, you're up.
Um, Diva, I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I just gotta say it like I mean it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what I feel and what I see and what I hear from everything that's been online today and yesterday, and be clear, I said it on Friday that it was intentional that they dropped that video. They dumped that on us on the Friday so that everybody could stew Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. And then on Monday, the real event is going to pop off because we're not finished yet. And I do think it was intentional for him to come out and do his video on Sunday, because on Saturday, when we were on live, people put that in the chat that he was planning to come out on Sunday and apologize. And I do think that was strategic on his part as well. And we have to think about what Sunday means in the Black community. And, I saw that post. I read those comments under his video. And what I saw were so many people who were speaking of what they would do if they had the power of God, but they lack the mercy and the forgiveness of God. And be clear, I am not a Diddy fan. I get up here often and I tell you all about the 13.2, and I stand on that. But, it was also mentioned, with Kelly, because I feel like this is a twofold situation. You showed the apology and then we talked about Kelly Price. Kelly may have a message and she may be the wrong messenger. And I feel that precise way about Cassie. And I'm going to circle back in a minute. I have seen the hashtag say her name over and over on social media today. And I kept thinking, what are we saying her name for? It's like a cult and she's a god. And because again, today is Sunday. And Cassie has not come out and said one word. And just like you said, Diva, they signed that paperwork. Neither one of them are supposed to be talking about it. And the only reasons that the attorneys are talking about it is for another reason, and it's strategic. But I saw everyone posting her wedding picture under the umbrella of support. And meanwhile, Cassie and her kids and that husband of hers, they are living well. This was a video filmed 8 years ago. And right after it was filmed, she got downstairs, she got on that elevator, she got in the cab, she went home, and then she came right back. Okay? And so I can't allow myself to be taken to a dark place, a traumatic place, where I'm spiraling emotionally over something that happened 8 years ago that it was so good. It was good enough for that person to get in the cab and then come right back. He said, I am sorry. And what does sorry even mean? It means regret, pity, and sympathy. And I'm translating what I got from that. He regrets that he let things get out of his control. He understands he is in a pitiful situation. And he feels sympathetic to his business partners, colleagues, and children that this is the legacy of the Combs name that he is passing down to them. That video was not for us, meaning you, me, panel, and chat. That video was a message conceding defeat to the powers that be, in my opinion. He was throwing in the towel and sealed the deal with, I am not asking for forgiveness. That's what he said. And what is forgiveness? Forgiveness is the intentional decision to let go of the resentment and anger towards a person, place, or thing. Translation: everybody who is mad about that video can stay mad. I got bigger things to worry about. I'm fighting for my life. That is what that means. Now, again, he deserves everything he's getting, but I'm just telling you what I'm hearing and what I'm saying. As for Kelly Price, I don't like Kelly for my own personal reasons. However, I am going to attempt to speak from a place above my own biases and say I understand what Kelly was saying in that comment under that video. And she has every right to post that comment wherever the hell she wants to. It's her personal account. I understand what she meant when she said we all have the capacity to do some dark things while we're in a dark place. And to do the work necessary to be a better person. She said, I have seen you at your best and you have been worse than this. Get it together. I understood that message. And messages like that were in the minority. Okay. So I understand why everyone is piling up on Kelly, and I don't like her either. But I understand why everyone is piling up on her because everyone wants to get on code and dump all of their emotional garbage and trauma onto this man, and rightfully so. But Kelly, this is something interesting. Now, Kelly reiterated a point which Diddy said in his video when he said, I'm not asking for forgiveness. Kelly said straight up in that video you just played, I'm going to put it out there. She said, for those who get it, you get it. And for those who don't, you're going to stay stuck. Okay, that was the key word, stuck, because a lot of people have been stuck on this Friday, Saturday, and today. Folks thrive off of witnessing violence. People promote violence as entertainment and bond over traumatic and heartbreaking images. And folks take those images, those moments and feelings, and they stew in it for monetary gain, comfort, and of course, entertainment. Misery loves company. That's where that quote comes from. We see that here on this panel. I have given you all many sound bites. I have perpetuated the term 13.2 million men who are cow manure. I get up here and I give my authentic opinion of how the men in our community, meaning the Black community, appear from my vantage point. And on occasion, when I speak on both sides of the situation, like when I acknowledge Diddy is despicable, he's a despicable human being. I can't say that enough. He needs to be off the street. Even when I say that, anytime I say, well, what Cassie has done and how she has benefited from this situation, quote unquote, her pain, I am being deemed as having a lack of empathy. And I'm not going to argue with people about what they hear when I speak, because I know that the average adult in America reads on the 7th grade level. And if you have a 7th grade comprehension and you cannot elevate to the conversation and meet me where I am, then stay down there, cry me a river, and have fun.
Woo, woo, woo. Felicia, you're up.
Really? I'm up after that? Wow. But I love when people can express how they feel and I can understand and receive it. So, unfortunately, folks, I've been hours into this saga here. And I have a lot of thoughts. I've shared some of those thoughts with my fellow panelists. And I'm still believing what I believe is happening here. So if I may, I hope you all will allow me to speak a little slower as I believe what is happening. So yes, E did say on Friday, they dropped this video so we could be in it all weekend long. No, I was not surprised that Mr. Combs came out and made a statement of which he referred to as an apology. I happen to agree with thee. That wasn't for the folks on the ground. I'm on the ground. I'm here in the neighborhood. I'm in the community. Many of us are that way. I believe that statement was made to the people who are his masters. Yep. The ones who have helped him to grow his billions and to become this music mogul that people speak so highly of. I believe he got a phone call. Just one call. And it wasn't the we're going to talk call. It's going to be, I'm going to tell you what you're going to do. And then you're going to follow my instructions. And then you're going to do it exactly as I tell you to do it. Now, the LAPD came out on Friday evening and they said, there's nothing we can do about what you all saw in the video. We've been getting all these phone calls. But this is beyond the statute of limitations. We cannot do anything about it. All right. So this happened in 2016, according to Ms. Ventura's complaint. This is 2024. So 8 years later, we see Mr. Combs coming up and making a statement. Now, he knows he's not going to be, quote unquote, held legally for having done this assault, this battery, this beatdown. So what does he come up here? Oh, because he cares about the people on YouTube. Yeah, okay. Oh, he really, really cares about the people who's buying the music he ain't making no more. Or the alcohol he was putting out there. No, I don't believe any of that. I believe this has to do, and I stand on it, with this Jane Doe lawsuit. Come this week, the judge has to make a decision in this case. Yes, he does. His team, meaning Mr. Combs' team, has already gone in front of the judge and said, no, throw it out. There's some technicalities. Make her say what her government name is, her legal name. Judge didn't agree. The judge now has to decide if this case is going to move forward in the courts. And the judge might have been, leaning right, leaning left. There's something about good lawyers. Good lawyers know other good lawyers, and they know how judges think and how they generally rule. They go and they do the background work. They get in there, they do the research. How does this judge generally move? How do they decide? And maybe they thought, it's looking like he's getting ready to throw this out. Now, Cassie Ventura's attorneys are Doug Wigdor, LLP. At the end of the settlement between she and Mr. Combs, there was a statement put out by both of them. We have decided to settle this amicably. I agree with Diva. They're not to speak each other's name in any way. Why? Because in the opening of her lawsuit that many of us have read, it opens up talking about those BET awards when he called her out for holding him down in the dark days. She said that triggered her and triggered this demand for compensation. And I am absolutely confident that she told her lawyers, not only do I need to be compensated economically with dollars, I don't want him ever speaking my name anywhere to anybody ever again. And if he does, it's got to cost him. So no, I believe he got a phone call and he was told, you're going to get out and you're going to make a statement about you're sorry about your bad behavior. And that you allegedly, or you did some kind of therapy. It's all kind of therapy. I ain't going to do, what's that thing he was taking? The pink ecstasy. I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm just going to take the white stuff or whatever. Or I'm not going to go around beating people up anymore and those kinds of things. But we know that he hit his son's coach in the head with some kind of heavyweight thing. This was long after 2016. He's done a whole lot of damage. He is a predator. He is a criminal. But I believe they told him, if you don't do this, we will finish you financially. I suspect his debts are greater than his liquidity. I suggest that they said they're going to pull all of his debt and make it due come May 31st, he's going to have to pay every dollar he owes. I believe they told him, you don't fall in line with what we want you to do, like settle these outstanding cases. Yes, we're going to end it in our way. Now, I'm not saying Little Rod's going to get a whole lot of money, but he's going to get paid for what his work was worth. And every expense he had, whether it was a round trip airline ticket, a lunch at Chipotle's, any overtime, I don't care if he had to go out of pocket for gas. I believe they have all met yesterday, and Mr. Combs signed those agreements today. And we're going to see it come to pass in short order because court dates are due. If he thinks he can go into a courtroom now, and I'm talking about civil court, economic justice, with a third assailant that doesn't want his name out here, he is mistaken. So I say the tyranny has come to an end. To God the glory. On this beautiful Sunday, it is over. I'm done.
Thank you. Dawn, you're up.
Diddy is a monster.
Mm-hmm.
He is abusive. He is cruel. He's ignorant, and he deserves everything that he gets. First, by saying that his apology today was for naught. I didn't see any. It was emotionless. It was like his PR gave him a statement to read, and he just read it just to say it was done. I do agree with some of the other panelists. It was told to him to do this, to apologize, to try to soften the blow. Unfortunately, Diddy, the blow is still there. It's a punch from Evander Holyfield himself, and it's not going away. To Kelly Price, I understood everything Kelly Price was saying. Every single thing she was saying. I just didn't know it was so many gods in the world. I didn't know that all these gods had a heaven or a hell to put people.
Come on.
To tell somebody you can't tell them to ask for forgiveness, to do the work. Who did you create out of dust? Because I don't think you have the power to put him anywhere. Kelly was absolutely right in her statement. She did not take up for him. She did not say he was right in doing what he did. She offered him some type of, not a solution, but a bridge to a better being, whether that being is in jail or not. Everyone should be forgiven. The people on this panel have done some stuff.
You better talk.
That they need to be forgiven for.
Come on.
The people in the chat
has
done some stuff that you need to be forgiven for. But y'all hold this power to tell somebody that you can't forgive nobody. We didn't say he was right in doing what he did. But y'all some gods. Are y'all Transformers or Voltrons or Thundercats? What's happening here? I've never seen so many people who on this good Pentecost Sunday have the authority to tell somebody they cannot be forgiven in the eyes of God. Never seen it in my life. We never said he was right. Let me say that for the fourth time.
Come on, say it one more time. Say it one more time.
We never said he was right. But y'all, the gumption to tell somebody they can't be forgiven is unbelievable to me. To get in, I understood everything Kelly was saying. And this is not to say that the DV victims should go out and just forget anything that has happened to them. It's not that. We're saying that he can be forgiven for that. I understood what she was saying. Now, it baffles me because some people still have their baby daddy who knocked them upside the head with a brick living in their home.
Oh, uh-oh.
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Because he brings home the check.
Come on now. Come on.
But he's still right. He's cheated on you 56 times and got illegitimate babies here, there, and everywhere.
Come on.
A part of the 13.2. But he's still in your home. We gotta, you can't be one-sided with this. You can't be one-sided. Because like I said, none of us are gods. None of us have a heaven or hell to put this man in. Once again, he was wrong. Cassie is a victim, but she's not the martyr of victims.
Come on.
We are not going to fly a flag for Cassie. We're not going to plant the flag in the White House lawn for Cassie. Because there are other untold stories, lifetime shout out, of other victims.
Come on.
In this situation. But for some reason, we're holding this lady up like everything that she did was right.
Come on.
And by the court papers, we know that's not true.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Choo-choo. Come on.
You know,
talk to Don.
Kim Porter is not here to get $30 million.
Okay.
She's gone.
Mm-hmm.
And the person that got $30 million witnessed her getting beat.
Come on.
But you know, we're still holding this person up like she's crossed the burning bush on this good Pentecost Sunday. Like she took the slaves out of Egypt.
Come on.
I don't get it. I don't get this martyr symbolism that we're throwing on this lady. Because there are other victims that we are not talking about. Let's say their names.
Can I add this to your sermon, Dadon? Let me add this. I feel, and this is not to lower or lessen what happened to Cassie. I feel there are a ton of men out there that are victims of Diddy. And we'll probably never hear their names because unfortunately when it comes to the world, and you know, little Ronnie, he did speak up, but again, it might have been right message, wrong messenger. But when a man comes out and says he was DV'd by another man, it becomes problematic. So when they say DV victims don't want to speak up, the DV male victims really don't want to speak up, especially when another male has done it. Those from the church that was violated, it took them years, and they still can't even speak to this day because of the stigma that is attached to not just the violation, but that they was violated by a man. There's a whole lot more going on with this story. And all we're saying is there's a multitude of individuals that this has impacted. In the video, in this situation happened in 2016. When did her and her husband get married? And they had tapes that they handed over to the FBI when they did the lawsuit. And listen, I just want to talk to y'all. This is no judgment. So I hope I could connect to the people that are ready to have this conversation. We're sticking the flag in the ground, as Don said, but they had these videos since they got married. I'm just curious to know why we couldn't have had this sooner. But I'm going to say this, and this is just my thought process, because that's what we do these panels for. That's why we're here. My thought process is there was some little funds going back and forth the whole entire time. And this little final end was the big payday. Because you hold on to these tapes, you out of this relationship, you with your husband, you have the 2 kids. You connected with me, Flip. But the husband want to come out and he want to say, you know, this is for all the females. Why you could the years that wasn't spoken was the more years that more people was getting violated. But if we just having a conversation tonight, y'all. Go ahead, Don.
Yeah, I just want to be clear for the 6th time.
Mm-hmm.
We are not saying Diddy was right. We are not taking up for him. We need to listen to comprehend and not to hear. I can speak for every panelist up here. We are not saying Diddy is right in any sort. What he did was absolutely wrong, and he needs to be punished for what he did, what they can punish him for in the eyes of the law. We're not saying that. We're just saying, let's say the names of all the victims in this particular case. October is DV Awareness Month. I think it should be every month because women and men go through DV. So let's say everyone's name in this situation. I wish there was no statute of limitations on these particular crimes, but unfortunately there is, which means we have to try to give strength and courage to muster up these things as soon as possible to put the people in jail and where they need to be. I'm praying for all of the victims that has been affected by this man and the ones who he sent to make more victims.
Yeah, come on now. So Deshay said, why does it keep going back to Tate's money, husband, and etc.? See, here's the thing. If you ever go to therapy, when you come, they don't just say, let's start from today. You're not going to get healed. You're not going to get healed.
That's
they
right.
Going to go back to try
That's
to
right.
figure out how did we get here. So yeah, we got to talk about the tapes in the previous situation to know why we are here and to stop the future generation from bumping their head up against the same wall. There are many people that will tell you, yeah, we know about the CD industry. Well, what are you going to warn the people that are innocent coming to this thing? Yeah, we know that if you want to get into big movies, you got to get on your knees, whether you are a male or a female. And they want a lot of males to do this. We know that. When are we going to get the people that put up the warning sign? Stop. Don't go. So you can't heal from the place you at right now. You got to take a look back. You got to look in the rear view mirror. They're going to say, okay, I understand, Diva. You was in this relationship. I got to figure out what made you stay for 13 years. Tell me the relationship that went on with your mother and father. Did you live in a home with your mother and father? Did they praise you when you got good grades? What made you feel like you was not worth anything that you stayed in this situation? He gave you black eye after black eye. He tried to choke you out. He kicked you. He talked nasty to you, said you wasn't worth nothing. What made you believe that? We got to do a look back. Because if we don't do a look back, I ain't going to be able to heal you. And if I don't heal you, it ain't no need for you to be sitting on my couch. And if I don't heal you, the next relationship you get in, guess what? It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same. So we got to tell our young people out there, so you want to be an entertainer? You want to get in the music industry? You want to get in the modeling industry? You want to act? Don't go to these auditions alone. When you meet somebody on the street and they tell you to come to their apartment and take pictures, you got to come with somebody. If they say that somebody can't be in the room with you, then you leave. Because when you believe, your dream is going to come true. We got to instill, this is a microwave society. They want everything to happen overnight. No, maybe you're going to have to put boots on the ground. Maybe you're going to have to work a little harder. Did you not hear Cat Williams? He said, I still got paid. I got money in my pocket. No, maybe y'all didn't see me in 13 movies. No, maybe you didn't see me in 22 Netflix specials. He said, but I funded my own projects. I was on the street, in the little clubs, still making my money, and I didn't get on my knees. You can get there. So I understand. We want to stay connected. We want to be like, woe is me. Oh my God, she was a victim. We know that. We understand that. But we ain't going to do nobody any good if we stay there. We got to teach the people behind. Listen, why are you 19 with a 37-year-old? We got to talk. And I know everybody says she was groomed, but what I'm trying to tell you is we got to tell the people, don't get groomed. Don't fall into the trap. Why are you with a 37-year-old? It's not too many 19-year-olds that will be with a 37-year-old if they're not getting something from it. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but that's a fact.
It's true.
Even Tanika and next door or whatever, if they're with an older person, he's buying me this, he's giving me money, he bought me a Coach bag, he bought me a Louis bag, he bought me some shoes. You're not catching a 19-year-old, forget about the music industry, you're not catching a 19-year-old with an older man and they're not getting something from it. So what I'm saying to you is, my kid has been on every vacation with me. He ain't going to, there ain't nobody going to come lure him with no vacation. We already been there, done that. They're not going to lure him with a shoe or a sneaker or the promise of this and that. We've been there, done that. And I've instilled in him that a clothes, a sneaker, listen, if we got to go to the Goodwill to shop, we're good. So this is a bigger picture here that we need everybody to catch. We can stay in the sensationalism of it all, but none of us will grow and get any better. The premises, and I know nobody wants to hear this, but the foundation of this thing is money. It's money. She kept saying in her lawsuit, I ain't really like him. But you got a 10 record deal or whatever the case may be. And let's be clear. Tell me an artist that you have heard of out the gate that got a deal like that. Tell me. I don't know of one. Tell me an artist who got a deal like that. You was bought from day one. In 1918, 20, and again, like the Don said, for the sixth time, the seventh time, we're not saying it's right, but let's be clear here. And one thing, when you say they're 19, you're like, oh, they're adult, they can make their own decisions. But then when it comes to stuff like this, you're like, oh my God, they was only 19. Which one we gonna do?
Come on, Diva.
It's like at 19, I go to get a job and they're like, oh, I'm gonna pay you $150,000 and I don't got no credentials, no resume history. And I'm thinking like, yeah, oh, they just giving me that. Come on now. Katrina, you're up?
Hey, can you hear me, Diva?
Yes.
The only thing I'm gonna say, Diva, on this one is all of them need to be on their knees asking for forgiveness, because ain't none of them innocent. He's not innocent. She's not innocent. The only ones that's probably innocent is the victims that was done without their knowledge. Like I said, all of them need to be on their knees asking for forgiveness, because none of them are innocent that participated. Not the ones that sat around and watched him pass out those tainted drinks or anything. They sat around and
Muffled there, Katrina.
huh?
You sound muffled. I don't know why.
Hold on for a minute.
That sounds better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's much better.
Okay. I'm saying none of them are innocent. I just think that all of them need to be asking for forgiveness for the stuff that they participated in, and for the people that they gave their money and stuff. I mean, to sit around and watch these people been violated. I just hope they all get the healing that they need, because they definitely need some healing. That's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you.
Hey, Diva, can I say one quick thing?
Of course you can.
So let me be easy with this. There are the other victims that we're talking about exist. I want all of you all to Google Ghislaine Maxwell and see what she's in jail for doing.
Come on now.
We're going to use our brains tonight. See what she's serving time for doing.
She served time for bringing in girls.
Let me respond to this 5-9, and then I'm coming to you, Julius. What is the educational part? Whoa, how long have you been here? Maybe you got to back up the video. Maybe you got to back it up. The educational part is number one. Don't be connected to things. Don't be connected to fame. Don't be connected to the limelight. I told you the foundation of this all is money, the dollar bill. Let's be clear. I don't care if you're 19, 18, 20. If the music industry is what you want to go into, and I'm going to say do bare minimum research. I don't care, even the best of artists, New Edition, all of them. Who got a 10 record deal off the back? I know of none. I'm telling you, put in the chat if you know somebody. Even when they were best, The Voice, I'm talking about Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson. 10? Julius, you up?
Okay, so I'm not going to be as diplomatic as Pastor. So the woman that he was just mentioning was Gladine Maxwell. We all know Epstein, right? Yeah, that was his right hand, madam. So that's out now. So yes, she's in jail for trafficking. Let's just say that. Now, do I feel that his video was fake? Mm-hmm. And that's between him and God. But do I feel like it was fake? Mm-hmm. Because he lost control of the narrative. Okay, Deshay, I understand she's not Gladine Maxwell. However, the thing is, she did. Why she had to pay that girl the money? Because she did participate in her abuse. That is the same as that Maxwell woman. Now, if you're new here, welcome. Here, reread all the documents. And she said what she did. It's not victim blaming, baby. Read the documents. Anyway, because
Hold on 1 second, Julius. Emmanuel said Cassie is not this thing. This is so insensitive and offensive. Emmanuel, I don't know what you're saying is so insensitive and offensive. Go ahead, Felicia.
Diva, if I may, can I read the lawsuit where she talks about when she was sex trafficking?
Please do, Miss Felicia.
But yes, you can. But give me a minute, and please, we gotta, let's say ST.
Okay.
Let me just say this, Emmanuel. You gotta talk. You gotta talk, because everybody wants to push this narrative. We're giving y'all clear explanation as to why we're saying what we're saying. And instead of listening, y'all still saying what y'all want to say, right? You're saying it's so offensive and it's so insensitive. She said, I had to call the people and get the workers and set them up. And he told me to look for workers that had big deeds. What are we making up? What are we making up?
It was in writing.
It was in writing. So I told you from the onset, if you caught it, but you've been over here enough, Emmanuel, to know that no, there's room, Savannah. You don't gotta go nowhere. You can't. You don't gotta go nowhere. There's room. There's a space left on the panel. So my thing is, like, don't push something around that is not the case and not so. By definition, if you read the definition of ST, and I know we're feeling for her, we can't continue to feel for her, but she said it in her own lawsuit, which was 37 pages. 37 pages. She said it in her own lawsuit. I had to call and get these people. We need a psychiatrist to explain how oppressors force people to do things they don't want to do. Okay, Emmanuel. That's all I'm going to say to you is okay. We don't need a psychiatrist to explain anything to us. There are plenty of people in jail right now, including, even though I get what you're saying, I think it's the tone in your voice. Well, what tone should I have?
We don't, hold on.
No, hold on, Julius. No, hold on, Julius. What tone should I have? What tone should I have? The truth is the truth. What tone should I have? I told you before, you know how they make diamonds, it's pressure. What tone should I have? If I say it's softer, then it'll be okay. If the truth is the truth, what tone should I have? I don't understand that. So it's not like, so one thing I do over here is I really don't put 20 on 10. We go by the words that the people said themselves. She said herself, I made the phone calls. I went and got the men. I looked for the men. I did this. I did that. She also said herself it was an on again, off again relationship. So I get it when you have maybe a husband and wife, a boyfriend and a girlfriend in this DV, and you going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. But this is a whole nother level where now you're being forced to call and bring other people into this seedy situation. Why keep going back? Because now you're committing some crimes too. D-Shay, just like y'all harping on the fact that we're victim shaming. So I guess we're both harping. What's the difference?
If I may, I'd
Go
like
ahead,
to
Felicia.
read what Miss Ventura shared with us. Okay, on page 15, Mr. Combs forces Miss Ventura into ST. Within a few months of beginning a romantic relationship with the 40-year-old Mr. Combs, the 22-year-old Miss Ventura felt beholden to his whims and demands. While in New York City, Mr. Combs told Miss Ventura that he wanted to engage in a fantasy of his called, quote, voyeurism. Mr. Combs said that it would, quote, turn him on if he saw Miss Ventura, quote, with another D, close quote. First time Mr. Combs hired a man and brought the man to his home in Los Angeles. The man, Mr. Combs, and Miss Ventura wore masquerade masks and ingested Uggs. Mr. Combs directed Miss Ventura to perform SA acts with this man. While Mr. Combs watched them, he urbated while he directed Miss Ventura and the man to do specific SA acts. The encounter lasted multiple days. Mr. Combs began to call the arrangements a freak off or FO. He would repeatedly tell Miss Ventura at random moments that he wanted an FO, and Miss Ventura was eventually, I'll say that word again, eventually expected to facilitate the locations and the hiring of male ex-workers. At certain points during Miss Ventura and Mr. Combs' relationship, he would insist on an FO weekly. Mr. Combs would repeatedly tell Miss Ventura that this practice was, quote, our thing, and, quote, our secret. FOs would often take place in hotel suites, including at the Trump International in Columbus Circle, the Emerge in Beverly Hills, the London Hotel in Los Angeles, the Intercontinental Century City, the Intercontinental Atlanta, the Intercontinental New York City. The one hotel in New York and in Miami, the Mandarin Hotel in New York, and in Miami, the Fontainebleau, the Beverly Hills Hotel, and Shutters on the Beach in Los Angeles. On one occasion around 2013, Mr. Combs had an FO set up at the Intercontinental Hotel, after which he was charged with tens of thousands of dollars in damages by the hotel. Upon information and belief, Mr. Combs' chief of staff, Tony Fletcher, paid the invoice charged by the hotel. Ms. Ventura was eventually instructed to use websites and escort services to find male ex-workers to participate in the FOs. Mr. Combs told Ms. Ventura to search for, quote, large black D's, close quote, on the website. Sometimes Mr. Combs would pay to fly male ex-workers to his location, including to multiple cities in the U.S. as well as abroad. He required Ms. Ventura and his staff to help him make these arrangements. His assistants would help to set up the FOs, including by setting up the hotel suites with baby oil and Astroglide. Mr. Combs always supplied Ms. Ventura and the ex-workers with copious amount of Uggs before and during the FOs. Ms. Ventura was given, Tassie, the cocaine, the GHB, the ketamine, the marijuana.
All right. You know what, Felicia, that's good, because it don't matter how much you read, it's going to be what it is with this conversation. K and J, I appreciate you. Two things can be true. She was a victim and part of victimizing others. Let's tell the truth tonight. And you summed it up. I appreciate you. All let's move on because it's late. Who did not speak yet on this subject? Tay, I think you're up.
I just don't agree, Diddy, about his apology right there. There is no emotion to that man. All you see is anger, rage, and all that stuff right there in that video right there. My question is, who you apologize to, sir? Are you apologizing to Caffrey? or the victim or God, or you apologize to yourself? Which one is it? And tell that Diddy, just get up, please, and go to jail because we all tired of you right now. And I'm tired, Diddy. I'm tired of this toxic right here. I'm tired of him right now. Just get up, Diddy. And you can shove that apology up to your butt and shove it to your nose right there. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. Dr. Love, you're up.
Okay, I just want to say what some other people were saying pretty much, just to say that I feel like it was the messenger itself. And even the second time she came on, she kind of made some points. And how could I say this? Kind of, um, she kind of like went backwards and forth. And yes, we as people know God, understand God, know the Bible, but sometime in situations like this, um, certain things need not be said or spoke out about or talked about, and then by certain people, which I'm quite sure other people probably could have heard it from somebody else better. Even I believe TD Jake said something when it's like, no, 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 no. How could I say it? America and social media is not feeling you. So when you one of those people that is not being felt, I think like just don't speak on certain things. Even if you is giving a good message, is giving the right message. It's not always um for our stars or our people or famous people to speak out on stuff. It's not always for them to do that. And and I understand where Kelly Price is right now. You're not a favorite right now. And yeah, so yeah, and then it's just a lot of with this stuff. It's a lot of theories, conspiracy theories. I feel like it is a whole lot with what's going on and what he done. It's just a lot. It's truly a lot for everybody to unpackage, and that's it.
Appreciate you. So let me just close out with some things here. Roger Bonds was his head of security, not just security, head of security for I'm gonna say at least a decade, right? So now he's a victim too. I hope y'all feel sorry for him too, right? So it doesn't matter if you like me or don't. I will tell nothing but my truth and how I was affected around this individual. I was manipulated also, maybe not in a physical way, but an emotional way that you people who don't even know this man will never understand. Yes, I'm here and I'm always out. So if anybody feels like getting at me for a dude that don't care about no one but himself, then bring it. All I can say is God bless you. Cause I'm really with it and don't have nothing else to lose. So let's go. F that woman beater. And if your belief that BS apology was with no tears, he meant to write, and couldn't even mention Cassie name, then you on the same BS. But tell him to mention everyone name, including Kim Porter. Yes, I got between them two. Hashtag the general. Harlem to Hollywood, my life story, my truth. He's writing a book. So this is the nonsense I'm talking about, right? Now, Roger Bonds is a victim. Roger Bonds was also manipulated. Was he manipulated or did he turn a blind eye because he was getting the money and he wanted to be around the fame and the fortune?
That part.
So everybody on the back end want to say he was a monster. So you a grown man. You claim you were standing when he went to put hands on Kim Porter, you got in between it. When he went to put hands on Cassie, you got in between it. But you was emotionally manipulated also. So you scared of him? Don't work for him no more. Why would you work for him for 10 years? So you claim also on another lie that Roger Bonds did, He claimed that he wasn't even getting paid for all the hours he worked for Diddy. Why did you stay? You stayed because you like the fame, the fortune, the glitz, the glamour, all of that. You stayed. So now we got Roger Bonds. I guess put him on the victim list too. It's the nonsense that after all the money's gone, now everybody got a conscience. Everybody was manipulated. Everybody had no way out. It's the same thing with R. Kelly. When the money was there, nobody spoke up. Soon as the money was gone, they was manipulated, they was done dirty, they was done wrong, it wasn't right, the person is a monster, and we're the stupid ones. We're the stupid ones. So Roger Bonds was manipulated for 10 whole years. He was head of security. And all he saw was a couple of Diddy putting his hands on Kim Porter and Cassie. He never saw anything else. He never saw who helped Diddy spike the bottles. So Diddy went around and he spiked all the bottles that these women were drinking at the parties themselves. That's the lies for me. No, I think he had help, allegedly. And they all was laughing when these girls was passing out at the parties, and all of them picked whatever girl allegedly that they wanted, and they did what they wanted. There's more people involved in this situation. But now I guess Roger Bonds is a victim, and he's writing a book from Harlem to Hollywood because he was a victim. So now
too. They serial ass Latinos, Asians. There's men, men on women, regular women, stud brown women, men, women. The fact that we beat each other on TV don't help things, ladies. The fact that you support shows where women fight don't help things. Still no excuse. You need to believe women when they tell you some shit the first time. And now you wonder why women don't report and don't report and stuff. Because don't nobody believe us. It don't matter, D.H. Reed. It don't matter what nationality she is. Men being women. Now, you know, there's just a hood rat who's been raised in a home who thinks that getting smacked around is some form of love may entice a brother to do something to him sometime. That mouth can be slick and vicious. I don't think that was the case with Cassie. And don't forget she was 18 when she got with him. So where's your parents to say this fool is too old? He wasn't 18, 28, and damn near 35 or something like that when he got with that girl. You know, I ain't never been about man, I ain't never been slapped, and I done said some slick ass shit that probably could have.
I'm not gonna play her whole thing, but everybody's speaking out now, you know, and I guess now, you know, Roger Bond said it first, so I'm guessing now every man that worked for or every person that worked for Diddy, whether they was grown, young, or whatever, they're all victims. Nobody couldn't speak up. So Roger Bonds, he had the fortitude to jump in between Cassie when he was, you know, putting the hands on Cassie, but he was manipulated too and couldn't leave. No, sir, you like the money, you like the fame, you like what you saw. And T.G. Jakes did address DV in his sermon today, but that's a whole nother story in and of itself. I'm going to show this last one and close out because we could be here all night with Diddy. But this one says, I'm not going to give too much energy as we have far more important issues to address than what happened 10 years ago. However, this isn't an end for Diddy. T.D. Jakes will help him set up his own mega church. He will be saved and baptized and will probably make more money as a pulpit pimp than he ever has as a mogul. Puffy will rise from the ashes. Listen, it's a lot going on. I'm closing out. 60 seconds. Anybody wants some final words? Any final words?
I I agree with the notion that they had this evidence for a while. Cassie and that husband of hers got married in 2019. They had that first baby in 2021. She brought forth that suit in 2022. She got paid in 2023. Her and that husband both worked for Diddy, and they needed the money. We have to call a thing a thing. They needed the money. If you follow the money trail, this is what they tell you. If anybody has taken critical thinking, any law courses, you follow the money, you'll find your answers.
Felicia, you're up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah, I'm coming.
The one thing that I've noticed over the last 48 hours is that Mr. Combs has irritated more people than Monique has. I just want you all to know that from me here, I love all of you. I really do. I'm not here to offend. I'm not here to judge. I just like to go on the facts. And the facts are saying that so many people are guilty of having done harm to others here. And I want them all to be held accountable. I want them all to have to pay some penalty. I'm done.
I appreciate you. Dadon, you're up.
I second that, Felicia. Anyone that was a victim in this triangle and this pyramid scheme deserves justice, whether they were a victim of Diddy or anyone else. All the victims deserve justice. If you were brought to him, if he found you, security, or anyone else, all of the victims deserve justice, not just one.
I appreciate you. Thank you, Dadon. And yes, I appreciate your words, Felicia. Okay, and Katrina, you're up. 60 seconds.
One thing I'm gonna say, Diva, is everybody don't worship the same God. And what gets me is when they get in trouble, here they come asking me saying this about God and all that. But where was God when you was out there doing these crimes? And like I said, everybody don't worship their God may be different from my God. Everybody don't worship the same God. And I hope the victims get some relief, some stress, because we don't know how many it was. And that's all I got, y'all.
Thank you. Julia, 60 seconds.
I do believe the apology is fake. I said that before earlier. I'm not gonna fault from that. His time is coming to be charged. And I don't believe his sincerity. There's that.
Thank you. Tay, 60 seconds. We're closing out.
I said justice for all the victims right there. And Puff Daddy, you just nothing but no motion, no personal. That's what you is to me right now. I hope you serve time and lock the keys forever. I don't care what month they're gonna pick you up. That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Bunny, 60 seconds. We're closing out.
I just want to say that I want everybody involved to be held accountable, not just Diddy, but this security guy, the people serving food, watching, the people who cleaned the house.
Come
Everybody
on.
needs to be held accountable because they were there, they saw it, and they did nothing about it. Whether it's just Cassie, but all the victims. And I pray that all the victims are in a process of healing and that they can overcome this. I know it's difficult, but I'm just praying for them that they find peace.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, all of them find peace. Savannah, 60 seconds. We're closing out.
Yes, Diva. I'm just wishing everyone courage and determination to engage in these tough conversations, and let's promote racial healing. Let's not look at this as a divided issue because we're all upset over one issue, and that is a It is abuse and toxic masculinity that has been permanent in all cultures. But I just want us to be brave enough to have these tough conversations, and bond over solutions. Be part of the solution and not part of the problem.
I agree with you. And so, this man, he aligned himself with a very prominent preacher as we close out. And everybody in the pulpit is not necessarily meant to be there. And it's like, how do you get your life together when you may be seeking a higher help, and your higher help is just as messy, perhaps allegedly, as you? So his friend, I'm gonna say, did a
over social media that I happened just to see as I was coming to church. And the woman said to me, "Would you please pray for women who are living in danger in their own house?" And there was something about the way she said it, and I know she's watching right now. There was something about the way she said it. It was a cry for help. And I realized something when I read what she said. As a father and as a husband and as a son and a mama's boy at that, when I saw the images that have been floating all over the news all week, it became difficult to watch. The atrocious, degrading, demeaning, debauchery. I know who it was, but I saw my daughters. As a man, I saw my daughters, and it made me angry. It made me angry. And I thought, if it affected me like that as a man, how much more is that image a trigger for women who have been through that, who are currently going through that, who are in the middle of that, who feel trapped in situations where you are being physically and emotionally and verbally abused. And it is possible to feel trapped and have a key to the door and still feel trapped in a situation you can't get out of. And it has, domestic violence has no particular color, age, or face. It can be sitting beside you today. You can be churched, you can be unchurched, you can be educated, you can be rich, you can be poor. But let me tell you something before we pray. And it's not always the man. Let me tell you a couple of things before we pray. Both for the victims and the perpetrator. There's something you need to understand. If you got a rage you can't control, if you have an emotional problem, a mental health issue where you're bipolar, and your kids get scared when they hear your car coming home, you gotta get some help, dude. You gotta get some help. You gotta come out of denial and get some help. Requests that came in over.
Listen, that's the friend, allegedly. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all for coming through for this difficult conversation. We have to have it. It is what it is. Of course, and definitely praying for anybody out there that is currently in a DV situation. I pray that you get out, but you get out alive. And I pray that you get help also. And I pray for all the people that unfortunately, were allegedly victimized by Diddy. All of them. Listen, guys, if you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button on your way out. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all for being here. Good night and goodbye, everybody. It's late. Good night.
Do not cheat.